Ranzi of Super Healthy Children, and I'm here at the Raw Living Expo in California, and I'm here with my friend Dan McDonald. I'm sure you have seen Dan on some of his absolutely amazing, excellent videos, and Dan is the Life Regenerator. And there's a really good reason why. He's been giving a lot of really powerful messages about health and well-being, and he's changed lives all over the world. Improved lives, people have been healing from all different kinds of ailments. And so Dan, I want you to talk a little bit with us about what you're doing out there. I know that you have kids, and it can sometimes be a daunting task to raise children in a junk food world, healthfully, and with what we believe is empowering to children, the kind of food, the fruits, the vegetables, the green juices that we feel are so healing. Can you talk a little bit about your own journey and with your own family?
It's amazing right now because my oldest daughter, who is almost 16 in a couple weeks, she is almost 100% raw. And when she eats the stuff that ain't conducive, she feels it. Because she's a fitness athlete. I kind of started out, I would always say, and it's true though, we would go to the gym when she was like 13, and I'd be like, I was a bodybuilder at the time that she was conceived, so the genetics are there. And I'd say, Nathaniel, wow, you really have, I've worked with hundreds of people in the gym as a personal trainer, and you have form from the very first workout. So I would be very encouraging and trying to get her to, understand her talents and cultivate that. Like, she really has the form and the shape. So she goes for fitness, and she's working out now, and both my children's just absolutely detest the drugs, even though a lot of the kids are doing those kinds of things. And so they also don't like the lack of mental clarity that comes from the junk foods. So
That's one thing I haven't talked about, is mental clarity. That's a really good one, because that involves so much. Like, there's so many children who have attention deficit disorder.
That's the thing right now that I'm focusing on the most, not only for myself as more of a spiritual type person, but also with the depression. I get messages every day from moms with autistic kids. And how can we get the heavy metals out of there, and the toxins and the colorings and the additives, which are they just go into the bloodstream and they just wreak havoc on the mind's ability to focus and function due to the excitotoxins that are in all of these foods, MSG, and it excites the neurons and then they die. And so the kids get into this, they become like food drug addicts. Excite, die. Excite, depress.
And there's that hyperactivity.
And then
we don't know where it comes from, and we don't connect it to what we're ingesting, and what we're serving our kids are, being permissible all the time at all these parties that come up. It's like, how many times do they have to go and eat the ice cream cakes? It's constant, the birthday parties, and it is
tough.
It's tough.
Because they want what the other kids have. And it's taken my daughter, I never pushed, but she had to mature into it herself and make her own choices, which I always encourage. But, we know that when we fill the fridge, we do the shopping. And so if we make those tougher choices and, I want this and that, and it's like, it's like, we're just going to buy broccoli, we're going to steam it, or we're going to have rice, and we're just going to start to eliminate the excitotoxins, preservatives, additives, the foods that just pollute the blood, which then pollute the brain, which then why is this snotty-nosed kid crying in the grocery store, and then the other kid over here who's eating whole foods, whether they're raw or not, without all the additives, they're calm and peaceful, they're not crying, and they're not in this insane emotional ups and downs. So these whole natural balanced foods for our children. Now, we would take a 2-hour video to explain what needs to take place.
There's so many things too. Then there's the GMOs. The genetically modified ingredients. There's so much out there now about how that affects the brain and thinking. So if you're not eating organic food, 90% chance you're probably eating a lot of those genetically engineered ingredients. So there's so much interplay here.
We've got to get savvy. We've got to get smart, or we'll get left behind. Because the world is a very place where it's not your individual and family welfare. It's not the top priority. It's more like the money, and you're like somewhere way down the list when you can be involved in pharmaceuticals or prescription drugs for kids. We need to take this to the grassroots level, take responsibility, and start the transitioning process by buying wholesome, organic foods. And whether we're able to go raw or not, we want as much raw as we can for that electrical energy, the mineralization.
That's right. Even if you can go high raw, like to a raw food diet that has like 70% raw, high mineral, high vitamin, nutrient-dense fruits and vegetables, and some nuts and seeds, and then, have some amount of the whole plant cooked food. That's so much better. That's better than 95% of what the westernized society's children are eating. So you're already going to be making a huge change. You don't want to go totally, you don't have to, but it can be done with a lot of delicious food.
It's really the removal of the offending foods is what I call it. And so displacing those slowly but surely, one step at a time, even if it's just a smoothie in the morning, or a juice, or just making sure that there's fruit on the table, good tasting, organic, local fruit that actually tastes good with some flavor that's ripe, like a real ripe mango. The kids aren't going to really want the unripe, chalky mango. So you, as a mom or dad, you've got to get savvy, and you've got to learn, like, oh, this orange tastes better than this orange. And then what I do is I go to the store and I say, hey, produce manager, can I try this mango? Can I try this tomato? Can I try this cucumber?
Yeah, and you want to give them tasty food.
That's right. Like some cucumbers are really sweet and crisp and fresh, and then the other one's like kind of old and bitter, and you just try it out and you get savvy, and pretty soon it wakes up your intuition, and then you can see out of the corner of your eye, those mangoes are ripe, those ones over there aren't. So bringing in those good foods and just really trying to do your best to get out of the processed trip. If you're going to process, do it at your own home with your own food processor, but the stuff in the boxes and the cans, it's all sugar and it's all iodized salt laden, it's preservatives and additives and shortening and everything that's making us fat, sick, and dumb. And I just like to say it like that because then it sinks in. We want to be smart, healthy, beautiful, successful, and radiant.
That's right. You can have it all, and your kids don't need to be sick. That's really
right.
what it's all about. You can have it all, but you've got to get savvy. You've got to really understand that what's out there today, what's being offered in the stores, even in a lot of health food stores, is packaged food that's made in a factory. So like what Dan's saying is eat your food natural. The taste buds change.
Yeah, they do.
And you learn to be so attracted to that food. And also, as a takeoff on what you said, also learn what your kids love. Every child has their own taste preferences. So find out what your child loves. What's their favorite fruits and herbs and vegetables, and have plenty of it there.
Yeah. Bring that in. So, right on stuff.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, good video.
I'm going to tell you now how you can find out about him.
Because I know that you're stoked right now. It's life-regenerator.com is my YouTube channel where there's over 1,600 free videos, and then I have a great website where you can get a lot of amazing recipes. I have more raw food DVDs than anyone in the world.
Really?
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Epic, huh? I have 13 raw food DVDs, and those are available at my website, regenerateyourlife.org. And again, the very simple, basic, I have a range of more gourmet to the very simple juices and smoothies, salads, soups. So it's a nice way to get yourself educated on how to bring more fresh fruits, vegetables, soap nuts, seeds, and herbs into your life.
Great.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.